Let's go on vacation. Yeah. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caroline and today we are going to talk about traveling as chronically ill. Traveling season is coming, and as chronically ill, it can be quite overwhelming to travel actually. It can be really scary because you never know when you're going to get a flare, but it can also be a little bit stressful because you need to make sure you have all your meds with you and you have all the right documents and blah, 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 blah. So to make it easier for you, here are some tips and what to remember when you travel as chronically ill. First thing to remember is travel insurance. Always make sure you have travel insurance in case something happens when you are on vacation and you need medical care. Otherwise, you might end up with a huge bill, and let's face it, that's the last thing we need. A regular travel insurance will cover urgently occurred illness, such as some kind of an infection, and also if you break your leg or something like that. So you have to make sure that the insurance that you get covers your chronic illnesses as well. The best way to find out is basically by calling the travel insurance company and find out. Most insurance companies will be able to cover you. You might need to pay extra, or you might have to prove that you have been stable in your chronic illnesses for the past 3 months by showing them a part of your medical records or whatever. But of course you can get travel insurance, but it's just so important to make sure that they cover you 100% also for your chronic illnesses. We don't need that bill. No. Be aware that if you live in an EU country and you travel to another EU country, you are covered the same amount that the population in the destination country is in their healthcare system. So, however, the amount of self-payment varies from EU country to EU country. As an example, let's say in Denmark, you don't pay for bed space when you are admitted to the hospital. And then I travel to France, and in France, let's say they pay €5 per day for a bed space when they are admitted. Then I would have to pay for the bed space as well, just like any other French person would. Therefore, it's a really great idea to have travel insurance, even though you are traveling within the EU as an EU citizen, just to make sure you don't get any unexpected bills. I was about to say pills. Next thing to remember on your vacation is doctor documents. In case you get admitted on your vacation, it's a really good idea to have documents from the doctor who is treating you. Documents that state what diagnosis you have, what medicines you are taking, and how to contact them in case of questions. It's also a really good idea to always have these documents on you on your vacation, so that if you do get admitted and you might, let's say, be unconscious, then the doctors can always see what your diagnoses are, what medicine you're taking, and they can therefore provide you with the correct treatment. Number 3, required documents for your medicine. Bringing medicine abroad is not always easy, but of course you're allowed to bring it. You just have to make sure that you have the documents that your destination country requires. Most countries do allow you to bring your medicine without documentation as long as it's not euphoric. Euphoric medicine is medicine like morphine, tramadol, and also Ritalin, and so on. You can usually find information about what documents your destination country requires on the webpage of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or the webpage of the embassy of the country you are traveling to. You can often also contact them if you have any questions. If you live in a country that is a part of the Schengen countries and you travel to another Schengen country, you do not need documentation for your medicine, unless it's euphoric. However, if it's euphoric, you simply need to go to your local pharmacy and get a Schengen certificate. This certificate is valid in any country that is a part of the Schengen agreement. The Schengen Agreement is an agreement between most European countries that makes it easier for people with illnesses to travel between these countries. Next to me here, you can see what these countries are. And of course, you can always Google it if you need to find out if you live in a Schengen country or if your destination country is a part of the Schengen Agreement. Like I said, most European countries. Number 4, transporting your medicine. There are a few things you need to be aware of when you bring your medicine abroad. First, it's a really good idea to bring the medicine in the original packaging. This way, authorities can see what it is. If you just bring a random red pill in a little plastic bag or whatever, they can't see that it's medicine, and it might look a little bit suspicious and you might get in trouble. If the medicine is packed in a blister case, you can bring the blister case instead of the whole package. This is because the name of the medicine and the dose will always be written on the blister case. If you are traveling by plane, you should always carry your medicine in your handbag. There are 2 reasons for this. First, it gets freezing cold in the back of a plane, and that might damage your medicine. And second of all, we all know that airlines sometimes lose our suitcases. So if the airline loses your suitcase, you're going to be in a foreign country without your medicine. And that's scary and also really stressful, because now you need to figure out how to get prescription and get the medicine and blah, 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 blah. And that might not be easy. So for crying out loud, always bring it in your handbag. If your medicine needs to stay cool, then always carry it in a cooler bag that's designed for long travel. And also make sure that you have a refrigerator in your hotel room. If you're using medicine that is applied by injection, like insulin, make sure to check with the airline what documentation they may need for you to bring it on board. In an injection, there is obviously a needle and fluids, and this is technically not allowed on planes. But of course, you are allowed to bring it. You just need to make sure you have the right documentation, and this varies from airline to airline. So it's really important to check with them. Some airlines might be like, well, as long as it's in the original packaging, then whatever. And other airlines might want some sort of documentation from your doctor or something like that. So always check with the airline what documentation they need if you're bringing injections on board. So everyone, that was today's video. I hope you found these tips helpful for your next vacation, and comment below and tell me if you're going traveling this summer and where you're going. Also, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. You can also go find me on my Instagram, that is also called The Art of Being Ill. And I hope you have a blessed rest of the day, and I'll see you next time right here on my channel.